Hope everyone is doing well. Quick check-in for the week ahead. April 7th toward April 13th. But there are just highlights of energy gathering right now that will peak on with the full moon, Libra full moon that's happening on April 12th. So it's just a quick overview of what's important this week. So Mercury went direct this morning at 7:07 a.m. in the Eastern time zone on April 7th. So number 7 activation is happening. 7 is the number of Neptune, and Neptune in Aries. Neptune in Aries is really setting a new tone of energy for us underneath. And then I'll do another video just talking specifically about Neptune in Aries. But Neptune in Aries is really dissolving a boundary of self, right? Aries is all about self, identity, personality. Who am I? I am that, right? Inquiring this thing called self and me and human and whatever, right? Neptune is the planet that dissolves boundary. Neptune is the planet that expands our awareness too, because it holds no limit. It dissolves boundary between me and you. It dissolves boundary between me and God. It dissolves boundary between it dissolves boundary of separation and otherness and all of that, right? When I call God, there was a comment that was said, we're not God, we are created in the image of God. I believe in that also, but if the essence, whatever the essence that created this whole eternal, vast, infinite universe, right? Whatever that created that massive thing called this thing, right? It's that same creator created each one of us. And then each of us holds this particular code of God, the creator, the source in us, right? Because we were created by it, just like we have DNA code of our parents and our ancestors and all of that. We are embodiment of that biologically. And then also because that pattern of the source has to be in us because we were created by that. That's why I say we are God, we are the creator, we are the source itself. That separation is an illusion that our mind creates, right? So anyway, this week, Mercury, under this very particular day of the 7th, Mercury went direct. Mercury, the Hermes, Mercury, the alchemist, this Mercury that is about the mind, is going direct at 26 degrees of Pisces. Mercury do not like to be in Pisces much, right? When it comes to analytical, logical thinking, Mercury is not so comfortable in the deep ocean of Pisces, and it can get lost in all the too much delusions and illusions and too much of confusions that this Mercury can get lost. But it does good when it comes to just like exploring that space where we are expanding our awareness to the realm of mystery. Mercury does well in the sign of Pisces. But anyway, this Mercury going direct at 26 degrees of Pisces. North Node is right now at 27 degrees of Pisces. Venus and Saturn are in conjunction. They came to an exact conjunction today under Mercury went direct. And Venus and Saturn are at 25 degrees of Pisces. Triple quadro energy present in this late degrees of Pisces. And Mars is finally approaching that late degrees of Cancer, finally, right? Mars has been in Cancer since November or so, and Mercury, the Mars will finally leave Cancer on 18th, move into Leo, right, on the 18th. But this Mars right now at 25 or 26 or around that degrees of Cancer is speaking harmoniously with our personal planets Mercury and Venus. And Mars in Cancer, all about memories, all about psyche, all about our subconscious realm of the mind. That's Mars in Cancer, speaking with this stationary Mercury. Mercury went through crazy retrograde through the eclipse time. Every time that those personal planets especially move like in retrograde motion, it is about the time of, yes, of course, reflection, yes, redirection, rethinking, readjusting, and all of that, but remembering also, right? I feel like this time period is all about remembering who we are in essence, remembering the memories that's stored in our psyche. I'm not talking about the memories that we still remember of the past in this cognitive thinking mind. Right? Cognitive thinking mind is a tiny, tiny, tiny dust within the vast universe of the mind. And then it is that vast aspect, vast cosmic aspects of the mind that we want to tap into. Moon! Yeah, anyway, so that we want to really tap into right now with this stationary Mercury right on top of North Node. This is us releasing the old karmic stories that has no future for us to keep holding on to. It can be even, you know, I think I spoke about this, but this is really such a creative energy because of the fact, okay, Mercury is going direct and Mercury will cross over North Node one more time. And we are under this Venus Saturn conjunction. Venus and Saturn conjunction in Pisces is like there is very, yes, Saturn can bring up that energy of delay or challenge or restriction, hardship, right? But it is about maturity, it is about wisdom, it is about self mastery. Not only Venus and Saturn are together, these two planets are speaking to Uranus also. Uranus, Venus will be aligning perfectly tomorrow in sextile with Uranus. Uranus and Venus, very creative. With Saturn, Uranus, the shapeshifter, right? The breaker of rules. Uranus hates to be stuck. Uranus is all about innovation, pioneering spirit. It hates to be stuck in old rules and regulations, right? Saturn can represent the old rules and rules to follow, old ways of thinking, old self-limitations and doubts and all of those things that Saturn can come up. But with Uranus playing a part in this energy, because Uranus, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, North Node, Mars, they're all talking to each other. All those personal planets are talking with the Saturn and Uranus. And right now, Jupiter in Gemini has been speaking with the Sun too, right? That perfect sextile happened a few days ago, but the Sun is strong in Aries, exhilarating Sun, which holds new will, new intention with the presence of Neptune. It is ready to, break the old patterns and old norm and old rules to be the pioneering spirit to create the new I amness, and I am ready to step into my power to create the new world, right? That's the energy of this Aries right now with this Jupiter in Gemini. Yes, it's to kind of can be scattering energy. Jupiter doesn't like to be in Gemini so much, but then at the same time, it can help us to broaden awareness, feeding in, it's feeding up the fire of adventure and exploration and new, everything new, stepping in, new, right? And so coming back to that Uranus speaking to Saturn and Venus, this is new perception, breaking the rules that we have put on our own selves too, right? Even about those difficult situations that can be triggering, right? Those situations that gives up, that stirs a lot of resistance and frustrations and all those kind of things. It's good for us to kind of question our own selves. What is it really that this thing is triggering inside of me? Or how can I creatively react differently or respond differently or see this problem from different perspective to generate kind of a new patterns of thoughts and new patterns of feelings in relation to this trigger. That kind of like, creative energy, because Venus and Uranus, very creative, very outside the norm, rebellious spirit, right? In the art is all about the rebel, right? Rebelling against the critical, logical thinking mind who wants to say, right or wrong and yes and no, right? The art crosses that boundary. Art is all about rebelling against the left hemisphere of the brain to be free, to do you, be you, express freely without giving, without caring so much of the analytical aspects of ourselves. And this energy is all about that right now. So we want to really tap in to that like really free spirit right now. And then right after this energy will continue to be with us because Venus are slowing down. Even after Venus goes direct, Venus will continue to move slow. So Venus and Saturn will be moving together. And then even later this month, around 25th or something, I forgot exactly, but Venus will cross over Saturn, but Venus will come back after going direct to be in conjunction with Saturn again later this month. And later this month, Mars also ingressing into Leo, and then it's going to oppose third and final time with Pluto. There is a lot of fiery like final explosion, final kind of like hopefully clarity, expansion happening, that kind of energy is present. But later this week, coming back to this week, on April 12th, there is going to be a Libra full moon that's happening at 23 degrees of Libra. Today, on Monday, moon is in Leo, right? This Leo moon is adding a good fire into the fuel of passion, aligning with the sun too. So we want to keep that spark of initiation, spark of new ideas, spark of just opening, do something new, journal out, whatever the idea that crosses into your mind, you want to write it down and keep dreaming. That kind of energy is present. And then under that full moon at 23 degrees of Libra, that this full moon is going to create a beautiful yod aspect with, right, the sun, Aries, right, sun late degrees of Aries. It's going to be speaking, the sun will be with Chiron. And then this is going to be this at 23 degrees. So all the planets that I mentioned, Mars, Venus, Saturn, all that is going to be a part of this finger of God, Yad aspect. Oh, this is going to be a very faded, karmic, beautiful, beautiful full moon, especially those people who have a lot of planets at late degrees of cardinal signs. When Pluto crossed over all those late degrees of Capricorn, and the last 5 years of all the craziness, this is gonna be a good releasing point. Also, right, the past 2 years or so, all the eclipses were happening between the Aries Libra axis. So this is not going to be an eclipse, of course, but the new moon that started this lunation cycle was a solar eclipse. Even though it was a partial eclipse, the nodal point was far away from that new moon, but still we are still under the resonance of eclipse time, and Two of Wands just showed up, right? Two of Wands, this fire energy, this is the Aries energy. We want to really activate our own inner fire, find our inner fire of passion and desire and will and intention, align our will with the will of God, the creator, the higher force of higher frequency force of the out there realm. And we want to just think, how can I serve that greater good for humanity, for the cosmos? How can I serve my highest good, my higher self? And like all that, kind of like expand the awareness and don't get beat down by whatever is happening outside and be depleted by that. This is not a time that we do not want to be taking our power away by someone, these situations, this and that. No, this is a time to claim our power back and create change in each of us. And that change that we create internally will ripple out, and collectively we can shift the frequency of the earth, really, truly. And this full moon coming up on the 12th is going to be the sun in conjunction with Chiron. What a big healing full moon it is. When we had the last April solar eclipse, I believe, April 8th, total eclipse of the 2024. Wasn't that the one in conjunction with Chiron? Triple conjunction with Chiron? I might be mistaken, but there was a lunation in the past that was in conjunction with Chiron. And this coming back into this cycle now, this is the full moon. And with the sun, with the Chiron, is like, okay, finally we are ready to turn pain into power. We are ready to shift this story dynamics and embrace everything that had happened in the past. Whatever is happening, we choose not to carry that burden over us. We choose to take them as a lesson that's given by the higher power. I'm learning something from this suffering, from this craziness, from this chaos. I choose to gain power and wisdom and resources that I need so that I can share the wisdom with others, right? The Chiron archetype is the wounded wound, themes of pain and suffering, but with our maturity, with our true understanding, we turn that pain into power and we become a healer, we become a teacher, right? It's a big, strong teacher archetype. But in order for us to really step into our power this week, we take it easy, right? The Mercury going direct, it's stationary. Venus is slowing down. We want to take it easy. Choose to drop resistance, choose to drop stress. Whatever we feel like we are carrying over our shoulders, drop them. Rest. Take it easy. Align our internal frequency with the frequency of ease and peace, because under that frequency we do well. We do most well because that's the natural state rhythm of godliness, right? Under stress, we do everything out of chaos, and it's no good, no good, right? We get sick out of that, pushing. So drop the burden off of the shoulders, take deep breath. Eight of Wands sword, Eight of Wands reversed is, this is the energy of adventure, expand the awareness. It's the Sagittarius energy. We want to aim big, we want to keep our awareness wider and bigger than the problems that is being projected on us in our life, in the world, through media, whatever. This is the time, because whatever that energy frequency that is being emitted, whatever is craziness that's happening in the world, yes, we hold, you know, love, and trust and faith that everything will work out no matter what. And then in the meanwhile, we choose not to let those situations to take our powers away, but we gotta choose to keep aiming something bigger, aiming higher into the higher, greater realm of reality. And we gotta tune in and tap into that Queen of Pentacle energy. She is confident. She trusts her own rhythm. She trusts the divine order. She trusts the rhythm of nature. She trusts the rhythm of life. The earth is turning. This solar system is spinning around the central point of galaxy, and this galaxy is spinning around some kind of a center within this infinity, and that Queen of Pentacle represents that rhythm. Everything goes up and down. Every energy frequency goes in and out, just like breath. Good things come, bad things can happen, right? It's always in the wave, but trust the cycle of life. And she chooses to sit on her own throne, being patient with faithful. She stares at her own magic represented by the pentacle. So may we choose to, I spoke about that, but stop and smell the roses. Stop and watch the birds fly. Stop and feel the sun, clouds drifting. Feel the air that surrounds you. Smell the wind that's carrying new seasons into our field. And make sure to keep our heart sinking in the rhythm of peace and love and goodness of life, because that it is us, that is with us, and that goodness, and focusing on the goodness and ignoring what gives us discomfort is a practice, is a spiritual practice that can help us to keep tuning in, tapping into the godliness within. The God would not fear or would not worry, would not go into panic or in a state of depletion. No, the God energy is the love, unconditional bliss, unconditional. My cats are going crazy in the background. I don't know if you can hear it or not. So even with the craziness going on, running around, chaos, red flag, alarm going on, our nervous system can throw us off from that godly space if we are constantly plugging and moon. Keeping our awareness into the signal. Oh, what's next? We can get easily thrown off of our own throne of peace and ease and godliness. And then we gotta choose to, I always say this, but we gotta choose to be in love. Two of Cups. Two of Cups is all about the in love with life, in love with self, in love with God, in love with the universe, in love with craziness, in love with the earth, everything. It's not, the spiritual practice is not about, right, trying to get to the space of nothing bad is gonna happen. No, we are here to learn to love it all, right? We are not here to be loved, to seek into validation, seeking to be loved. No, we are here to love, love, love. Love what you love life, love chaos, love craziness, love the person that we hate. Love, love, love. Even though I do not agree with what you're doing, you know what? I give love. That's our power. That's the godliness. Because the source, where we came from, the source where we return, that is accepting us wholeheartedly. No judgment. No, good, bad, blah, blah, blah. Nothing of that kind of judgmental separation exists in the field of the source. The source is all one, wholeness, oneness, full acceptance whatsoever. And then if we could tap into that state of full acceptance, no matter I'm fucking up this, I'm fucking up that, life is this, life is that, our left side of the brain can judge us, can get frustrated, this and that, but the source within still loves us all wholeheartedly. And that is the space that we want to tap into again and again, because there is nothing more powerful than that state of that unconditional love, unconditional bliss. That is us, that is our source, that is our true essence. So may we keep tapping in again and again and again and again, through meditation, through energy activation, through stillness, through quietness, through whatever, through watching nature, whatever. We can tap it into that space of less noise, but wholeness, oneness, oneness, oneness. Thank you so much for listening. I'm wishing you a beautiful, beautiful week. Beautiful Venus week. This is a Venus week. So creative. Be creative. Sing, dance, be free. Yes. Thank you. Peace.